Justin, you alright there, bud?
Itchy.
Ah.
On this episode of the MacGuffin Guild, we'll be taking a ride in the cockpit with Tank Girl. This comic book film by director Rachel Talalay exploded onto the scene in 1995, but was quickly ignored by moviegoers. Starring Leary, Ice-T, Naomi Watts, the legendary Malcolm McDowell, and a cameo by the one and only Iggy Pop. We're going to explore the connection between Tank Girl and Joan of Arc. We'll learn about the movie novelization of the film, the prosthetic kangaroo penis on the cutting room floor, as well as what Leary has been up to these days. We'll discuss our favorite post-apocalyptic films, in addition to 80s and 90s comic book movies, and the unnerving discovery of Uncle Monkey. I'm Pat Dougherty, and as always, I'll be joined by my fellow MacGuffins, Justin Jones and Mike Antonio. Our theme song was written and performed by Jordan Vincent. Now empty one out of the chamber, take a shot, and prepare to be blasted by Tank Girl. Let's get to it.
I raised you better than this.
Welcome to another episode of the MacGuffin Guild. I am Pat Dougherty, and as always, I am here with my fellow MacGuffins, Mr. Justin Jones. How's it going?
Good. I'm trying to think of something other than good.
We can't hear you nodding, Justin.
He was shaking his head.
I was hoping something would shake loose and I would come up with something better than good. Fabulous.
Also with us is Mike Antonio. How are you doing, Mike?
Howdy doody. I am doing well, Pat. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. No one ever asks me.
That's because nobody cares.
Today, we are going to talk about Tank Girl, 1995, rated R, directed by, what's her first name?
Rachel
Talalay. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, I think that's right. If not, apologies to Rachel Talalay.
Or Talalay.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Talalay. Which I was surprised to see the films that she had also directed early in her career. She had a 6-year run where she did Freddy's Dead, Ghost in the Machine, and then Tank Girl. And then she seems to have leaned heavily into television, which she also did a lot of DC TV series, which
really?
I think is kind of interesting.
Okay.
She obviously took this comic book experience and spun it into the DC universe. So anyway,
cool.
To give a little bit of insight into Tank Girl here, 41% on the tomato meter, 63% audience score, which...
Well, you know what? Those people can all go to hell because it's one of my favorite movies.
No, I'm actually surprised. I mean, the 63 seems about right.
That's actually pretty accurate,
how I think I would kind of like gauge that one.
Yeah.
To give a range of reviews here, we have Bruce Diones from The New Yorker. Leary does her tough-talking best to breathe some life into this comic book action, but it's not enough. Here's another negative. I'll do some negatives first, then we'll get to the positives. Owen Gleiberman from Entertainment Weekly, an aspiring cult film that would rather be cute than dangerous. I don't know if I really agree with that. I thought they took a lot of... I mean, I know it was rated R, but I thought it was quite risque for, especially for comic booky... I know the comic book itself is...
Yeah... I mean, but at the time, especially, there weren't, R-rated comic book stuff. Well, I mean, there was Blade, a few years after that, but...
Are you talking about movie-wise?
Yeah, most comic book stuff was...
Comic book films were...
Yeah, comic book films were, they wouldn't go with the R rating. Well, that's not always true, though. I guess the bigger budget... Well, this is a lower budget. Damn, that doesn't apply. All right, forget I said anything.
All right, Jeff Andrew from Time Out, which I'm going to put Mike in right now. Generous souls may try to blame this travesty of the Deadline comic strip on the studio execs who forced director Talalay to tone down and re-edit her cut.
That is true. That's something I was going to get into later.
Intriguing. I didn't know there were...
yeah, they stepped in and recut the movie. Yep. There's a lot of stuff that got cut out.
Quentin Curtis from Independent on Sunday. Just Sundays, though, apparently. Ultimately, the film is more a symptom than a prophecy of dystopia.
Yeah, what?
Ultimately, the film
profound.
Is more a symptom than a prophecy. That's prophecy of dystopia.
I think I'm in the wrong business.
That's
obviously just a snippet of...
I didn't finish my sentence. That's profound. Lee Stupid.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday. Do you have that review yet? Yeah, here it is.
All right, so let's get to some positives.
Finally.
Leanne Polk from The Stranger in Seattle, Washington says, add an Iggy Pop cameo, an unconventional storytelling style, and a unique stylized look, and you've got a comic book movie unlike any that came out back then, nor much like the many that have followed in the more than 2 decades since its release. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of comic book movies, obviously, since, but this is the one that, well, I don't want to say the one, but this one definitely fully embraced its comic book style. Obviously, the comic book strip is flashed throughout.
Yeah, reality and logic are completely thrown out the window in this movie.
Yeah.
And we'll be discussing that definitely.
Jonathan Rosenbaum from Chicago Reader. Laurie Petty does a nice job in the title role of this enjoyable 1995 feature based on the post-apocalyptic science fiction comic book and set in the year 2033. So, Mike, this was your selection.
Correct.
The history of this was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think my sister and I came across it years ago.
Yeah. I guess you guys must have saw it on like HBO or something. You guys recorded
it? It was on cable somewhere.
Yeah, it was on something.
And when we recorded it, I guarantee you it was on a VHS because...
yes. Yeah.
there was no way we had TiVo or any kind of...
No, it was a VHS.
For the time, I guess I was, 15 when this came out?
15, 16... Well, yeah, you would have been... I would have been like 16. Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're the right demographic, teenage girls.
Yes. But I do recall enjoying this film a lot, obviously, when it first came out, because, again, it was like nothing I had ever seen.
Yes.
And I would really like to, and this is going to be something for later on, I really want us to dig into this. I think the reason that I really gravitated towards this one back in the day was because I was such a big comic book fan.
Right.
That if I got any kind of taste of a comic book film in any kind of creative, professional, well done fashion, I was all in. Because I was used to, the Captain America with rubber ears back then. I mean, they didn't have anything like...
And Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren, yeah.
Punisher.
Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
I love Howard the Duck.
So, yeah.
Red Brown was Captain America, I think, wasn't he?
Oh, was he? I'd have to look into that.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
So anyway, that I think that's why it got me back then, because it was like, I felt it was really well done. There were moments that were really funny. There were, the makeup effects were really good. Shout out to Stan Winston.
Yeah. Well, he just did the Rippers, right?
Yeah, I believe he designed the Rippers and whatnot, his team or whatever.
Yeah, they could have been cheeseball as hell, especially for the style of movie, and the fact that like their ears, I loved the movement of their ears and stuff. I thought that was really fun.
Now in the comic, they're supposed to be basically like literally like kangaroos. In this, they kind of made them more like humanoid kangaroos. They kind of blended it a little more.
Which, for the time, probably made more sense to get Stan Winston in there, have him put some... Some effect, instead of trying to get a bunch of...
That's what they said. They wanted to have actual people.
That would have been a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
Trying to get 7 robotic kangaroos.
Yeah.
Never work with children or kangaroos.
Yes. Robot kangaroos. What made you select this one this time around there, Mike?
Well, you started to talk about it, you and your sister... And I remember, I used to hang out at your parents' house a lot when we were teenagers. And one night, I guess I was spending the night there or whatever, and you pulled out the VHS, and you're like, "Oh yeah, you should see this new movie me and my sister watched. It was pretty cool." And I was like, "Oh okay." And we watched it, and I was like you. First time I saw it, I loved it.
Yeah.
I love the humor of it. I love the. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. Like if you're going into this movie looking for like this complex plot and all that stuff, you're not going to get it. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It's like a sci-fi post-apocalyptic comedy. And I mean that's of course at the time I didn't know. I didn't even know Tank Girl was a comic book when I had no clue until I saw the movie that it even existed. Since then I became a fan of the comic. I don't love like I can't say like, oh my god, it's like my favorite comic book of all time, but I have read a bunch of Tank Girl comics, and I don't read a lot of comics. Unlike you guys were much more into comics when you were younger. I really wasn't. but there were a few. So I did collect some of this stuff, and I actually enjoy it. But this film, man, it's just always stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I was telling you before we were recording that I watch this movie probably a couple times a year.
Wow.
Like, through the years, I just, every once in a while, I'm like, I haven't watched Tank Girl in a while. I'm going to pop that in.
Yeah, see, the difference between you and I there is I haven't watched it in 15 years.
Right.
Justin, how about you?
Probably about the same. I don't think I've seen it in probably like 15 years.
No.
And Sarah had never seen it, so it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she
Okay.
got to watch it. It was cool.
Nice.
Yeah. In fact, Angel was like, you don't even need to watch it for the podcast.
Yeah.
You've seen it so many times. I'm like, yeah, I pretty much know it line for line, but I don't care. I'm still going to watch it anyway.
Yeah. It's funny, though, because watching it this time around after all these years, looking at it through now a 40-year-old's eyes compared to a 15-year-old's eyes, it definitely felt different.
Sure.
Because I think as a kid, I think there was even a lot of the nuance and a lot of the humor that I didn't really get.
Probably went over your head.
And then now it's like, earlier I used the word risque. It was, sort of risque. I know it's rated R, but still, there were lots of, pretty,
it's suggestive
using
stuff.
BJs, the offer of a BJ to get out of jail or, to get free or whatever. Just that kind of stuff, which is, for a 15-year-old, pretty heavy, pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so watching it again, you do have to kind of like convince yourself, okay, don't take this too seriously. Just have fun with it. Don't like break it down.
Yeah. And that's something I was going to bring up. Rachel Talalay did say there's people that get this movie and people that just don't understand it. Like she said, if you're questioning why in a world where there's no water, but she can change her clothes constantly, her outfit and her hairdo and stuff, then you're not the right audience if you're questioning that, because that's obviously it's not logical. Duh, it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
They have fuel for all their jets and tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the world that.
Yeah.
It's the world of Tank Girl.
It's a comic book world.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Yeah. And I thought that was a really good point that she said. Like that was her goal. Like that was intentional. It wasn't, it wasn't a plot hole or anything. That's just what it is.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This takes place in 2033.
2033.
Which we're not far off as we're recording this. It's 2020.
Right.
And at that time in 2033, it hadn't rained for 11 years. So that means we got, another 2 years?
Oh, yeah.
Is my math right here? We got another 2 years of rain. So
Hear that, preppers?
Yep, get ready. Yep, get the water down.
Water
in your
will
bunker.
be like gold.
Yep. One thing I'll point out too, now that we're talking about the lack of water and everything, the director said that the studio took the movie from her and recut it.
Okay.
And one thing that was lost was in the opening, they actually show the comet come down.
Oh.
And they also show Tank Girl as a little girl during the time period. Like there's a little small segment, that shows her as a little kid.
Did they give any kind of reasoning why they decided to do that?
It's probably the same. Did a test screening and the executives were probably like, "Oh my God, this is a disaster. We got to recut this." Yeah, they always. You hear a million tales like that. She didn't really go into why.
It probably goes back to the whole some people get it and some people don't, and maybe
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the studio people don't always get.
They don't get.
Yeah, they're like, we need to cut something out. We'll just take this out, and then
Yeah.
could have been anything like that.
She said when she was directing Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, like during the course of that, her stepdaughter bought her a Tank Girl comic. I don't know if it was like a graphic novel or whatever, as I think it was a Christmas or birthday present. And she instantly just fell in love and was on a mission to get the rights to make it.
Okay.
Like she got it as a gift and was just off and running. And she shopped it around to a bunch of different studios.
You could definitely tell that whoever, and at the time when I was watching this as a kid, obviously I didn't know who the director was, but you could definitely tell that whoever was running the show, there was a passion for not only the characters, but also for the comic book itself, to keep it such an integral part of the film. You could tell whoever was, pulling the reins, cared about the work.
I know that the two creators, Jamie Hewlett and I think it's Alan Martin. I think Jamie Hewlett is the artist, and Alan Martin was the writer of the comic.
I'd have to look.
I believe that's it. I know Jamie Hewlett's an artist because he's the one that does the stuff for Gorillaz.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, that's the band Gorillaz.
Not the actual Gorillas.
Yeah. Well, I know she shopped this movie around to James Cameron's studio. I don't know who that was. She just mentioned them by name. She didn't say their studio name, but they passed because they already had a female-led film in the works, so they couldn't have two female.
Now that would just be pushing it.
Yeah,
It's outrageous.
Yeah.
I guess what Alien is that what or Aliens?
No.
This has been
No,
after
this
that.
was after
Oh yeah.
that. Joan of Arc, I believe she said. I guess there's a Joan of Arc film.
A Joan of Arc action film.
Oh no, I'm thinking, wasn't there one, The Messenger, or something that was about Joan of Arc? I had,
Maybe.
I've drawn a blank on her name. She was in Resident Evil.
Oh,
No, I can.
Mila Jovovich?
Yeah.
I can almost picture the Joan of Arc film they must be talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been in the 90s at some point, 94, 95, in that era. Spielberg's company passed.
But hold on, they didn't want to do this movie because they had a Joan of Arc movie.
They had another female-led film in the works, and they didn't want to have two films with a female lead.
The Messenger. No, that couldn't have been it. That came out in '99. Unless that was it.
Unless it got, pushed back.
Well, they said they were working on it. How long did it take to make that?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't know.
But anyway, Spielberg's company passed because they felt that they weren't hip enough to make it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they really said that.
And then they and then it coined like a catchphrase or something going around.
Yes, too hip for Spielberg. They made shirts for the cast, or for the crew, I guess. Too hip for Spielberg shirts.
Nice.
And then the other one was Disney. When she had her pitch meeting with them or whatever, a Disney exec stood up and yelled, "I am Tank Girl!" But they ultimately decided not to go with Disney because they feared that they would try to tone it down.
Yeah.
They wanted to go.
They definitely would have.
They wanted to go with the R rating, so
Yeah.
they passed on that one. So I found all that kind of stuff interesting.
My next question then is, when was Lori Petty? Now, I did remember hearing another actress was involved.
There was another actress. She was a British actress. Emily Lloyd. I don't know who she is. She was originally cast, but she didn't want to shave her head and insisted they could do a bald cap. But they said, we already tested that. It doesn't look right. And then, she dropped out.
Yeah.
So Lori Petty got it.
Wow.
And Lori Petty had said to her friends, even after she didn't get the role, she said, I'm going to be Tank Girl.
Yeah.
And then the other girl dropped out and she became Tank Girl.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Well,
she's perfect.
It worked out. Yeah.
She's perfect.
I can't see anybody.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't imagine anyone else doing it.
Except that she's not British, which the character's supposed to be. But
Yeah, but again,
I know. But she's got the complete right look and the right attitude. Mm-hmm. Flawless for this character.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the look is on point. It's
Absolutely.
like you almost couldn't even. I don't even know who else would even come close.
Nope. The only person I say now, which I think they actually are in talks or were in talks at one point, was Margot Robbie.
What, remaking it?
Doing another one, or maybe rebooting it or something. The only thing I'll say about that is it's too similar to Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
In my opinion. It's kind of like the same type of character.
Yeah, but I gotta be honest, I don't see Margot Robbie. I mean, look, I know she can be flamboyant, comic booky, fun, but I don't know, this Lori Petty approach was
perfect.
It was perfect.
It was.
And I feel like if somebody else tries to follow that, it's going to come off as...
Well, the thing... I know that the movie's a little more silly than the comic. Now, don't get me wrong, the comic is silly, but it's more of like a dry British anarchist. Tank Girl is an anarchist in the comic, flat out. She's not a likable character, actually.
Yeah.
She's actually not at all a likable character.
Those are cool characters, though.
Yeah. Yeah. She's just a smartass. She doesn't really care about anybody else except for maybe Booga. Her.
Oh, yeah.
But even that, even in the comics, she kind of treats him like she's the boss. She wears the pants.
Yeah.
But I mean, the film gets it mostly right. I mean, they just kind of made it a little more fun.
What has Lori Petty done lately? Like
Lately?
Yeah, like mainstream. I guess I'm looking in Orange is the New Black. She was in some episodes of that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, Robot Chicken, she was in an episode. It's just amazing to me that the success, League of Their Own and Tank Girl,
Point Break.
She was in Free Willy, wasn't she?
That's right. She was in the first one, and then she
didn't come back for the second because she wanted to do this, right?
Was it this that she did?
I think so.
It might have been. I know she didn't come back for the second one because she was doing something else. It might have been this.
Oh, that's right. I think I forgot that. And then they had...
I've never seen Free Willy.
I haven't either.
Free Willy was 93, then Tank Girl was 95. That would have made sense.
That would have been around the sequel, yeah.
Poetic Justice.
Oh, she's in that? Wow. I've never seen that.
If they remade this, you know who they should get to play her?
Who?
Yolandi.
I mean...
That would be awesome.
I mean, yeah.
I'd watch it.
For those who don't know who Yolandi is, that's the girl from D Antwoord, or however you say it. I think it's D.
Yeah. I
D-I-E.
think so. I heard it was like the Antwoord or something.
Yeah, which means the answer.
Yeah.
And it's whatever their language. I don't know.
Is it like Afrikaans or something?
Yeah.
It's like a mix between.
It's like a blend of a couple of different languages.
I asked someone I work with who's from South Africa, and I said, "Are you familiar with the Antwoord or whatever?" She's like, "The answer?" I don't think she ever heard of him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, because I work with a woman who is actually from Africa, and I asked her if she heard of them. She was like, no. But she's an older woman, so, I mean, she wouldn't have heard of them anyway. Yeah. Plus, she's been over here for a long time anyway. But, yeah, I did, like...
What do you mean you don't know Jerry? He's from Connecticut?
Yeah.
You're from Connecticut?
I know. You always feel weird, but I did ask, like, some of their song titles are in... like that language, so like I had her decipher a couple of their song titles and stuff. I don't remember what they were, but because I'm actually a fan of them. I never thought of that though. Yolandi playing her, she's got the right attitude.
I think Yolandi seems much more subdued. You know what I mean? Like she's kind of like
So what about Naomi Watts?
No, she would never be a good. She was already in this one as
Jet Girl.
So
yeah. So listen, when I saw this when I was 15,
no one knew who she was. This was her first film.
Yeah. So that was something that shocked me when I watched it again for this podcast.
Oh, you didn't
because
realize.
I didn't realize that was Naomi Watts.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
I found out years later, but I didn't know obviously when I first watched it. And years later, I found that I was like, "Oh shit!" And I went back. But I don't even know anything else other than The Ring that she was in. Like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Naomi Watts."
Oh, she's kind of like an A-lister.
Yeah, I know she's done tons of shit, but I don't know.
Mulholland Drive.
Oh yeah, I like that.
She was also in. Wasn't she in the King Kong remake or something a couple years ago?
Yes.
Wasn't she in that?
The Peter Jackson one, yes. That was her. Yeah, and Lori Petty and Rachel Talalay also talk about Naomi Watts. They both said she seemed very nervous, and she kind of would like stand behind Lori Petty.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, well, we don't know if like she was genuinely nervous or if she was like in character, because her character's kind of supposed to be that way. So they don't know. They still don't know.
They still don't know?
No, because she doesn't like this movie. She won't talk about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is her Kevin Bacon Friday the 13th movie.
Wow.
Although I think recently he did say something about Friday the 13th.
Why wouldn't she talk about this?
I don't know. Maybe I think a lot of times actors, it may not even be the movie itself. It might just be their performance in it. They're so embarrassed by themselves that they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be anything.
It could be anything. It could be a number of things.
I feel like sometimes, like, especially if you play music and you're trying different styles out and stuff, and then everybody remembers you for the, like...
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you used to play a lot of metal music, and you're like, nah, I don't want to do that anymore. And that's all they want to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever it may be. You know?
Yeah, she moved on and did other things, and
I guess it's easy for us to look at it and think, well, if I'm in a movie, I'd be proud of that shit.
Yeah,
but you know, it's
we don't know the reasons. Yeah. Malcolm McDowell, on the other hand, said he had a blast making this movie. Yeah. I love Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
God, how many film credits does he have?
He's got a few.
It's
2 or 3.
Shit ton.
I've told you guys this story before when I met him.
I don't know.
I met him at a convention.
Okay.
Monster Mania. in New Jersey, for those who don't know. And you know how they always have like the little photographs that you can pick up at the counter to or the table to get signed. Of course, I picked a Caligula one. And when I got up to him, he was like, you don't see too many of these. I was like, dude, I love this movie. Like, I love Caligula.
That's great.
He was very nice. He was very pleasant. I mean, I didn't sit there and talk to him extensively, but he was pleasant. He took time. You know, he's not one of those like, what's your name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, he did actually interact, so that was cool. He seemed very nice. This was years ago.
272 credits, at least on IMDb.
That's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just take Clockwork Orange, Caligula, you got Dr. Loomis. He got to play Dr. Loomis. Say what you will about the movies themselves, his performance is fine. Tank Girl. He killed Kirk.
Yeah.
In Star Trek.
Yeah. Generations.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes, he did. I mean, quite a career, man.
He's done it.
He should be so good at remembering this stuff. I can't remember anything anymore.
Yeah. It gets harder as you get older. And you're older.
Yeah, I want to just get that on the record.
That's true. I am older.
Yeah, he's had a phenomenal career.
Yeah, he had, like, I'm still scrolling down his stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not even out of the 2000s yet.
Here's a good one. The one review mentioned it, the Iggy Pop cameo, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a blink and you miss it.
Yeah.
It's really quick. Here's another cameo, though. Did you guys pick up on James Hong?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As the doctor that
Yeah, I have
amputates.
I have him on my notes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He amputates Malcolm McDowell's head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all like, I don't know what he's saying.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of film credits, look at that guy.
Oh, yeah. He's got like a billion.
Holy
Yeah.
crap. Yeah, he's in a million movies.
Yeah,
but
that guy's legendary.
he could have been in this whole movie, and I would have just been like, sweet.
I kind of, in hindsight, watching it again, I wish he would have been.
Yeah.
Like, I could see that, you know, whatever character
Yeah.
that was, I'm like, yeah, I want more of him. 440 film credits. 440.
God damn!
Yeah, but if you take out all the Kung Fu Panda movies, that's still only like 400. I'm just kidding.
Well, and
I don't know how many of those.
You
movies
also
there
have to
are.
remember a lot of his are really quick little things like that, like in Tank Girl, and then as I was saying, we were watching this, and I just watched Blade Runner a few days ago. He also has a small scene in that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
He makes the eyes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, correct. So it's like a lot of little things like that where he's in like a scene.
Yeah.
He only makes green eyes though.
Damn, damn, does he like steal the scene when he's in it?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
Doesn't matter what movie it is.
Do you remember what was that one movie when we were living together? You brought it. I think you bought it or something. It was a comedy. I think it was a VH1 comedy or something. It was the one with the kid.
Totally awesome.
Totally
Where
awesome.
He plays like the Miyagi
Yeah.
character, and he's trying to like hit on the kid.
Yeah.
He's trying to get him to get in the hot tub with him and stuff.
He was him and Tracy Morgan were.
Oh, Tracy Morgan kills that movie.
Yeah, they were hilarious in that.
Written and directed by Chappelle's former writing partner Neil Brennan
really?
from
That's
Chappelle
right.
Show. Yeah, it was like a VH1 movie,
Yeah,
right?
I
Like an
think so.
original movie or something. It's pretty funny.
What does it call? What do you call it when
What does it call?
what you gonna call?
A Cleveland steamer. I'll just cut right to the chase.
No, what's it called when a drink overflows? Like Justin, before we started recording here, he opened a Sprite and it overflowed. What is that called? Does that have a term? Like, you know, people could say, "Oh, my soda is going to explode." Is that considered a soda explosion?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is there a term?
Where are we going with this?
Because
there's some context.
There is.
Okay, all right.
So there's this scene where she's on Lori Petty's character. What's her, Rebecca?
It is
Yeah.
Rebecca. They do refer to her as Rebecca.
Where Rebecca is on, you know, guard duty or whatever outside the house.
Yeah.
And she's sitting down there and she's, you know, cutting her pantyhose and doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's a point where I guess it's a beer. She opens a beer and she goes to drink it and it foams up. It explodes, for lack of a better term. And I loved that reaction because clearly, even if they planned it, that's something that, you know, you're going to get a natural reaction because you don't know how the drink is going to explode.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just jumped out at me. Like, next time you watch that scene, pay attention to that and just
And she,
her
like, throws
reaction.
it, too.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does. But you
yeah.
could tell that there's like a smirk on her face that's very real.
Yeah. she's so natural. Like, she doesn't feel like she's playing a character. Like,
yeah, even in all its cartoonish presentation, it doesn't feel forced.
No,
you know, like it feels. Yeah, she's cartoony and says goofy shit, but it's like you start to buy into it that
fits.
That's her.
It's she embodies the character. Like, man,
I'm surprised we don't see her more mainstream these days. I don't know. I always thought she was like in everything I've ever seen her in.
She's good.
Yeah, she is good.
Well, I know. I believe she's from Iowa originally, and her father was a minister. And she said, growing up, she wasn't allowed to watch TV or listen to like music, or she said they weren't allowed to paint and like do any kind of artsy type of stuff at all.
Weren't allowed to paint? Is that like Satan's medium?
Any kind of art, I guess, is like, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she was like really, and she said one day, like, somehow she saw, I think she said I guess they had a TV, but maybe they were only allowed to watch certain things, like they weren't allowed to watch movies, maybe, or TV show, like
the 400 Club. What's that show?
700.
700. Yeah, I knew some multiple.
No,
hundreds.
I'm part of the 400 Club.
The 400. The 400.
So I guess they must have had a TV in the house. She said somehow one day she came across it, and there was like the Jackson 5 were on there or something. Like, I guess it was a song, and it just like blew her mind.
Yeah.
And then she said something about, like, when she was older, like, she wanted to get out of there. And she said, like, well, it just made sense to go be an actress.
Yeah.
Like, that was how to get out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, but she's done a ton. But like I said, has anybody, like, if you're thinking of Lori Petty, if somebody were to say to you on the street, like, what's the last good Lori Petty movie you've seen? What the hell would you say? You know, and that's that's a damn shame. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I think she's worked steadily, but it's like not, you know, smaller stuff. Like you were saying, she was in Orange is the New Black and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, maybe she prefers that.
Maybe.
That might be I think she directs now.
Does she?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I hope so.
I believe she
still
talked
got
about
her.
that and said she's proud of that.
Let's see.
I don't know
director. Well, she has 2 director credits.
Okay, well, she's directed a couple.
2001, 2008. She likes to spread them apart there.
Okay.
Oh, she was in Cadillac Man? I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's just my thought. As I was watching this movie, I was kind of sad that we don't see her more.
Yeah.
The actress.
She's really good.
She is really good. And everything she does, like, dude, when I think of the movie A League of Their Own, I think of her.
I've never seen it.
Oh, my God. I can't believe it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Dude, that's a phenomenal movie.
She told a story about that movie. She said she threw out pitches in like every state. Like,
hold on,
all stadiums.
Time out. I need to back up. You're telling me
I've never seen it.
A man who just confessed that he is intrigued to watch a movie called Ass Zombies.
Zombie ass.
Zombie ass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My apologies to the production team of Zombie ass. But man, I guarantee you're going to see zombie ass in the next 2 months.
2 months, 2 days.
And you have not seen A League of Their Own.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
When that movie came out, I would not go near a sports movie.
Okay.
Because I'm not into sports, especially baseball.
Yeah.
It was like.
So have you ever seen Major League?
I have.
Well,
so you're just sexist is what you're saying?
No. Well, I saw that later, but I never got around to A League of Their Own. I kind of like forgot that movie even existed. Like,
dude, it's got Tom Hanks in it.
I know.
John Lovitz. I almost said John Leibowitz for something. John Lovitz is in it.
Is he? I didn't know that.
Dude, the cast in that movie is insane.
Oh, it's a big cast. Yeah.
Gina Davis,
Madonna,
Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, okay.
Who else? What's his name? The smoking guy from MTV. Did he have a part in it?
Dennis Leary?
Dennis Leary?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Maybe that was the...
But, so you guys...
throwing names at everyone in the 90s.
Jay and Silent Bob? Were they in
that? Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob.
Pauly Shore?
Yeah. Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice was in it.
Wasn't
Steve Guttenberg's last film?
The Goot?
Oh man, Let me see. Now I gotta know.
So she was, I'm assuming since she said this, she was the pitcher in the film?
I don't even remember.
Well, she said she threw pitches in, like, every stadium.
Well,
maybe
in baseball, I know you're not a fan, but like they all throw the ball.
I guess that must have been what... I don't know. I guess she said she threw pitches in every stadium.
They probably had people, like,
maybe she threw, like, the opening pitch.
The opening pitch, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say, yeah.
So, and she also told a story about Tommy Lasorda grabbed her by the scruff of her neck.
Really?
And said something about a woman's never thrown a pitch at this stadium. She said he was pissed off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, damn.
Oh, Bill Pullman. I don't know why I was thinking...
The president himself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not...
a certified prince.
Harry Shearer, isn't it? I'm a certified prince. Anyway, correct the record. Dennis Leary
is not
that I can see.
Isn't he in like The Sandlot or something?
What was he in? What am I?
Isn't he like the dad in The Sandlot?
Ref.
That movie's great.
That is a great movie.
I like that movie.
Yeah.
Dennis Leary. I don't know. Now I'm intrigued.
He's in Judgment Night.
Yes. Dennis.
You can't not say Judgment Night.
Holy fuck me, man!
What?
I don't remember that.
Speaking of Judgment Night,
That was around the same time this came out.
who has it? Yes, it is.
It
It might be the
before
same.
this, I think.
It might be the same year. I think it might 94, 95. Speaking of Judgment Night soundtrack and someone who's on that, Ice-T, who is in Tank Girl that we haven't talked about yet.
Oh,
Holy
yeah, Ice-T.
shit.
Yeah, good call.
Oh, man, is he good in this movie?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's great in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially, you put a kangaroo face on somebody and, and he still manages to make it work. But he's got, like, I love his attitude. I love how, like, when they're dancing and doing their praying or whatever, how he's just kind of, he's too good. He's just sitting there.
My favorite exchange in the entire film is when they're all sitting around debating what to do with Tank Girl and Jet Girl. And one of them says, I say we kill him. And the guy that's always like horny, he's like, I say we hump him. And Booga says,
I say we get crumpets and tea.
Tasty. Crumpets and tea. All in favor of crumpets and tea, say aye.
Aye. Shut up. Ain't gonna be no crumpets and tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen.
it's just every conversation they have is just like, it devolves into nonsense.
Yeah, and that line when I was 15, dude, was freaking hilarious.
Kills me.
Hilarious.
The other funny part is when DT does his poetry with his saxophone.
Yeah.
Laugh, you pig that flies in the sky with rainbow Twinkie fluid and 3 liters of high octane petrol. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bravo.
Thank you.
That's great.
Yes. The Rippers are I almost said something else. The Rippers are fantastic in this movie. They once they enter, it just gets so much crazier.
This woman here, is that Subgirl?
That's Subgirl.
Okay.
Some of her stuff was got cut out.
Because I was like, I don't remember Subgirl, and then I remember she has all this nautical themed stuff around her.
She's supposed to be in several other scenes. Gone.
It's a damn
So
shame.
it got cut down to this.
Oh, okay.
This brief little exchange.
Which kind of made no sense.
No, it doesn't.
How many other girls are there? So you got Tank Girl.
Those are like the 3
Jet Girl,
main
Subgirl.
ones. I think that if they added other ones, there may be, but those are the main ones. And Booga and the other Rippers are from the comic and everything.
But no other girls.
They have air, land, and sea covered there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when they had the Centurions. Do you remember back in the day?
I love that.
They were awesome.
I love that. Yeah, it was the blue one was the sky. The green one. No, there's green and orange.
Yeah, green was the sea.
was sea. Orange was land.
Yeah, and then they added another guy later who was like fire or something. It just threw off the whole thing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Or like something.
Just to correct the record, it was Sandlot that Dennis Leary.
See, I was right. Wow, damn.
I knew I envisioned him in a baseball atmosphere.
I have not seen that movie since I was a kid.
I like that we're correcting our errors pretty quickly in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to have to do a whole correctional episode of everything over the last month.
Mike, you look like you got something to say.
I like the modifications that she did to the tank. I'm not exactly sure, but I think there's some serious structural differences with this one. Like that you would have to, I feel like it would take a whole crew of people to lift that thing.
Oh, yeah, that's what's cool about this movie too, is like the production design.
Oh yeah, the tank looks
and
great.
the costumes.
What was the budget on this? Why didn't I gotta look that up? Because you said it was low budget.
Well, lower. I mean, probably, I don't know, maybe 20-ish.
And this is 1995.
Maybe 15, 20. I'm not 100% sure. Somewhere in that range, I'd say. It flopped.
Because, well, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
But
because people don't get it.
This is definitely a movie of its time, though.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie, like when I was watching it, one thing I liked about it was like it took me back to 1995 again.
dude, the music. Let's talk about the music.
Yeah.
That's one of my 3 things I've written down.
Well, why don't you talk about it then? Why don't you lead this one?
I like music.
Cool. Moving on.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Budget. Oh my God.
Ooh.
Budget 25 million.
25?
Estimated. Opening weekend 2 million. And then overall gross USA 4 million.
God.
So yeah, that's.
So when are we getting a sequel?
But yeah, that's, you could tell. Okay, 25 million seems about right because you could tell
there's money
they
in this
spent
movie.
a lot of money.
There's money in this movie. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the sets and the costumes and the design of the tank and the jet, everything looks really cool.
I feel like they could have saved some money if they would have cut out that scene, that dance sequence thing, and that elaborate. Because I felt like that.
Yeah, but I love it.
Really? Oh, it's so weird.
Oh, I love it.
I don't dislike it. I
think it fits this movie.
Yeah, the weirdness of it. Liquid silver. Yeah, here it is coming up.
Yeah.
Look at these guys.
With their lederhosen?
Yeah, opening act. Soundtrack was good. And
Yes.
I also reminded me of the 90s had like Bjork, Ice-T.
Yup.
Richard Hell and the Voidoids.
Bush.
That's not
Hole.
90s music, but...
Bush Hole.
Bush Hole.
My favorite band, Bush Hole.
Bush Hole.
I
L7.
also read that Green Day was all set to record a song, and then they got super huge and they couldn't afford them anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm like, but didn't Bush do the same thing? They got super huge.
The Magnificent
briefly.
Bastards featuring Scott Weiland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they did that Mayfly song or something like that.
Mockingbird.
And it began with an M and it was something that flew.
Portishead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isaac Hayes. Oh, theme from Shaft. Okay.
Yeah.
Joan Jett
Yes.
played in this song coming up. I thought it was cool. Yeah. Oh, and speaking of the music, and I was like, am I going crazy? Because I always remember the intro, the theme song that keeps playing. I was like, are they playing Al Jurgensen's version of Supernaut through the whole thing?
Yeah.
And I was like, and I listened again. I was like, no, it's close to it. And I looked it up, and somebody else said the same thing. They're like, it sounds just like.
Shit.
I think it was like.
So just a coincidence?
He's from Ministry, right?
Yeah, Ministry.
Okay.
And I think when he did it, it was under his Thousand Homo DJs band or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, Al Jurgensen, the Thousand Homo DJs or something.
Clever name. I don't know.
Clever girl.
Easy breezy, beautiful, clever girl.
Because it was on one of those. I think it was on one of those Nativity in Black CDs or something. Remember where they had all those people doing
covering,
the cover?
Yes.
I think it was on there. I could be wrong. I don't know.
So, what else do you have on your notes there, Mike? I feel like you got far more than I do. Mike is extremely passionate about this one.
We've actually kind of talked about a lot of the stuff. Hewlett and Martin, the original creators, they tried to put a lot of British pop culture references into the film, but it just wasn't because this was an American production, it just went over all the cast and crew's heads. They didn't even get it.
I gotcha.
Even though the original Tank Girl comic was full of that. There's a ton of pop culture stuff, but a lot of it's British oriented, like music stuff and all that. So I know they're not happy with the movie because it got rewritten a billion times, and
Well, story-wise, it's like all over the place.
It is.
It's just like a bunch of shit just crammed all in. Like, now they do this, now they do this. Now it's just like constant, nonstop, just...
But
Yeah.
part of that
around.
could have been because the studio took
Yeah.
the movie and cut it.
to
They
hell.
cut
But then again, it's not really fair for us to say because we haven't seen the long cut, correct?
Yeah, we've never seen it.
So
No one has.
maybe it was garbage.
Yeah, that's a good point,
People
yeah.
always jump on the execs and
That's
say,
true.
"Screw them! You're screwing with art." But
Yeah.
maybe they're the ones dropping the 25 million, and they obviously saw the writing on the wall. So
But,
maybe
they didn't help the film.
How long was it, the original cut?
I don't know.
Because this is what, like an hour and 45, something like that.
In that range, yeah.
So what if the original cut was like 2 hours and 15 minutes? They were probably like, we don't need all this.
Yeah.
Like, just cut out all the fat. Let's get to it, you know? And it's not helping anything. So, I don't know. I'm not trying to give them too much credit, but...
here's a little trivia for you. The prosthetic penis that got cut from this movie.
Oh, it did? I didn't even know
It's
about
supposed to be Booga. After they have sex, he's supposed to be laying there with a big fake prosthetic penis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they cut that out. Yeah. Clearly, of course they did.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
A kangaroo penis?
Yeah.
That was probably another thing that the executives were like, what the fuck
Yeah.
Yeah,
is this woman doing?
I can see why they would have cut that out. Although it would have been funny, I think. Because I think you're supposed to have like an enormous wiener.
It was like, yeah.
Yeah. Doug Jones plays one of the Rippers.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sarah
He's
told
one
me
of the unnamed ones.
No shit.
Yeah. So I couldn't even tell you which one he is. Yep.
Was it Mac Tonight?
Yes, it was Mac tonight.
Remember those commercials?
Yeah.
That was
that
him.
Doug Jones?
Yeah.
Was it really
Yeah.
him? I thought you were just pulling one of those bullshit things out
Man,
of
I
Justin's
know.
ass.
I
Might
bet
be,
you
I
I
don't
can
know.
envision which one he is because there is a lankier one.
Huh.
Yeah, Doug Jones is cool.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Justin.
Second coolest Jones I know.
Oh, yeah. Do you have an Uncle Doug?
No.
Well, he can be your Uncle Doug.
I'm an Uncle Monkey.
Fuck is that?
That's what my nieces and nephews call me.
Uncle Monkey?
Yeah, because my nephew couldn't say Mikey
Oh.
when he was like really little, so he was calling me Uncle Monkey. And he still calls me that. Him and my niece,
How old are they now?
they're both in their 20s.
Oh, my God. They call you Uncle
Call me
Monkey?
Uncle Monkey because it just stuck. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cute as shit, but
They still call me that. That's what they knew me as growing up.
Uncle
So
Monkey.
yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's think about that. Oh, I have one. My aunt who recently passed away, who had Down syndrome.
Yes.
She would call my Aunt Ruby Aunt Booby.
Wow.
Couldn't
She couldn't say Ruby.
Couldn't say Ruby. She always called her
Yeah.
Aunt Booby, so people started referring
There
to
you go.
Ruby as Booby.
There you go.
And everybody knew exactly who we were
Yeah,
talking about.
See? It's weird how that, that's one of those things that just sticks.
Yeah.
That's like my sister would call her Diddy all the time.
Yes.
And that's because when Mikey was little, he couldn't say Kristen, so he would go Ditton. Oh, and it just got short. It got
to Diddy.
It got shortened to Diddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
See?
That's where that's from.
That's pretty cool.
So we all had a story.
Yeah. Well,
And you were laughing at my Uncle Monkey.
I just never knew that. How did I never know? Over 20 years, you were called Uncle Monkey.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
That's something I feel like I should have known.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised myself that you didn't know that.
Can you
know that.
recall ever telling me that?
No, but
Were you ashamed of it at any point?
no, I don't care. No, it doesn't bother me. Oh, getting back to the film. Rachel Talalay, this isn't a big thing, but she actually got pregnant during production of this movie. So she's directing a film while pregnant. I don't know how far along she was.
By a ripper.
A kangaroo baby. Impregnated by a ripper.
The guy that plays Booga, I recognized him. His name's Jeff Kober.
Mm-hmm.
I recognized him a couple of years ago. I rewatched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show.
Mm-hmm.
And he pops up in an episode of that, and I recognized him from his voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard his voice. I was like, holy shit, that's the guy that plays Booga. And then I looked it up. I was like, I was right. Yes. Like, I don't know him from anything
Yeah.
else. I think he was playing like a vampire or something in an episode. I was like, holy shit. I thought that was pretty cool.
I just tried to Google Ripper Booga, and I didn't get much.
Ripple Booga.
Jeff Kober.
I didn't get much in return.
It's like Kober. Ripple Booga.
Did you just Ripple Booga?
I got the first thing that popped up is like a kid's video on YouTube. R.I.P. Booga Booga. So I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna get the results I'm looking for.
Get it up.
Oh shit.
Anyway.
Oh god.
I like the sand dunes. I like that's a similar thing to Dune, where you, like, people are stealing each other's body water. Is that the comic book? Or is that something they?
I have never seen a storyline that's like this post-apocalyptic. I don't like. I know it's the comic was set somewhat in the future and supposed to be kind of. I don't. It never seemed like it was to this extent. It always felt more like maybe like the first Mad Max.
Where everything's kind of
Like winding down,
Yeah.
kind of like that. That's how it felt to me. But maybe I'm wrong. It's been years since I've read the comic. I should reread them. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. I'm reading the movie novelization. Mm-hmm. It is written in a very interesting way.
of this.
Of the film, yeah.
Okay.
The narrator of the film, it's written in first person. It's another character who's not in the movie, who is in a bar, and they're playing like this card game. There's like drinking card game thing, and Tank Girl is one of the players also, and this main character hates her. Mm-hmm. He hates her. He thinks she's like annoying and blah, blah, blah. And while they're playing, she's telling the events of the movie.
Oh, okay. That is interesting.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting way to write the book because it's from his perspective, listening to her in this bar with these other characters, and it's all about the card game going on and all the other people coming in and out and stuff, and but then she'll talk and she's like telling the story of what happened, and he thinks she's full of shit.
Yeah.
Like she's like making up stuff.
So you said
Weird.
You said earlier that in the comic book she is a
Very self-centered, very very mean, like, how do I put it? She's not a likable person. Mm-hmm. She's just kind of, she's definitely an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Like in the film, she's much goofier and likable.
So you want to tell me the one or so let me So let me tell you the one moment for sure in this film that I picked up on a hint of that. Now, whether it was intentional or not, or it was just a bad cut, or they, a whole section got chopped out, they didn't get to really establish this aspect, I don't know.
Okay.
But based on the current cut of the film, after early in the film when what you would suspect is her boyfriend gets brutally murdered.
Richard?
Yeah. And then nothing ever happened.
Nothing.
No, not even a...
She seemed to react more to her oxen or whatever.
Her cattle.
Well, in the book, the novelization that I'm reading right now, she literally explains it as she shacks up with this house full of hippies that are stealing water. She's not really friends with any of them, but she is having sex with him because she says he's the best. So, like, see what I mean? Her character is kind of just, like, very shallow.
Yeah. And
they all get killed, and she's just kind of like, no big deal. Because, like, all they did was yell at me and stuff all the time. And in the book, she's talking about, like all she does is smoke dope and stuff, which is not in the movie at all. I can't remember if the character, like the comic, she does that. I don't remember. But what I'm saying, like, she's much more, like I said, she's an anarchist. She's just all about chaos.
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
Well, I thought one thing I read on IMDb in the facts thing, I kind of scrolled through. Towards the bottom was one that said it's never mentioned in the comic book or the movie, but it said that she may have like antisocial personality disorder.
Oh yeah,
or,
sure.
Which everything you described
makes
like,
sense.
She doesn't really give a shit about anyone, and she can't do anything, which is kind of fun for the movie because the water and power people are evil and stuff like that. So it's like having that like disrespect for authority and stuff is really cool. But it's just funny when you're talking about from the other guy's perspective. I was thinking it's weird, like what the perspective is like with her just like bringing people into danger and just doing shit. Like, it'd be a different perspective of like, if those things didn't work out the way she planned and she got all these people killed and stuff, that'd be a different story.
Well, one thing in the book that she said that's different, a little different than the beginning of this is, how she's kind of wandering out in the desert and she comes across that dead water and power guy or whatever. She's out trying to get a gift for her boyfriend. It's different. She's out wandering in the desert and because she doesn't really like staying at the house. She said most of the time she's not at the house. She's just wandering around. And she comes across a water and power patrol and she just decides instead of running away, she's going to run at them with her, it was an oxen, whatever you want to call it. She runs at them and hits them and the two cars like fall off a cliff or something or fall over or something. A bunch of the guys die and then she fights and kills the last couple. And then she goes back to the house and she's got all these guns and stuff and they're like, what'd you do? Like, now they're going to be after us. So in the book, she's the reason they come to the house. In the movie, it seems like it's just a random, they just come across.
Yeah, because they were harvesting water.
Yeah,
stealing water, whatever there.
So it seems more just like a random thing that they found them. But in the book, it's described more like
you know
it's
what
her
though
fault.
that I kind of wish they would have given that element. In
That's
the
interesting.
Movie.
It would have changed the whole movie. Though I think
It would have.
I think
Totally.
they're trying to keep it light and fun. Where
I
would have liked it better. But
I think it works for the tone they were going for in this movie. Like it is more like light and fun. You don't want to make her too unlikable.
Yeah.
I mean, most films, if she did do something like that, then she would like learn to regret it. Oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
But the Tank Girl character of the comics and the novelization would just be like, I don't know what their problem was, whatever.
Yeah. Any final points you want to get out there before
We've talked about like most of it.
You said you were going to ask about one thing, and
I have two.
Okay.
I have two. One, that question, and an additional question.
Okay. So let's do this then. Why don't we go around the horn and give our ratings for this film?
Okay.
And then we can we want to take this film, and anyone who's listened before knows that part of the MacGuffin Guild is not only do we talk about the film, but we use the film as a MacGuffin to spark other conversation. So we can use this film and aspects of it to kind of fire us off into different directions, see where it takes us. So with that said, let's go around the table here. Mike, since this is your film, would you like to rate it first, or would you like to let Justin and I go first? I'll give you that call.
Why don't you guys go first?
All right, Justin. How would you rate this film on a scale from 1 to 10 MacGuffins, 10 being the best?
10.
No, get
No.
out of here.
I like.
I was going to say, you might have to go 10 to go higher than me, buddy.
Yeah, I like it. It's fun. I have. I mean, there's a nostalgia factor. Like there's that. This storyline just kind of being crammed up. But it doesn't matter because it's just fun. Like you said, it's just supposed to be fun anyway.
It's supposed to be
who
like
gives a shit?
irreverent.
Yeah, it was just like funny scenes like that one where he's trying to put the
microphone on her.
How clumsy of me! Like,
Oh yeah.
It's just
Iced tea.
yeah.
It's so. Let me. I'm sorry, Justin. Real quick,
Right.
with the Rippers, they talk about how they all used to be people.
Yeah.
They were talking about their other occupations, and she asks Ice-T, "What'd you used to be?" A cop.
Yeah, yeah. And she's I think it was
And
right
she's
there.
like-
Yeah.
And she's like, "Of course," or
Yeah.
figure. I think she says figures. And of course, Booga wasn't even a human. He was a smart dog.
Yeah,
so
like
they
he was-
upgraded him to human status.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's so great. But anyway, go ahead, Justin. I'm sorry.
And the one guy was like an assistant manager.
The guy that's always horny.
Yeah. Like they're not.
He's
like,
awesome, too.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. And Lori Petty was really good in this. I don't know, 6.5.
6.5. All right, 6.5.
I feel like that's unusually low.
That for you,
Yeah.
that is low.
Yeah.
I'll go 6.6 then. Plug it in.
I already typed it out. You want me to switch it?
No.
All right. I'll leave it at 6.5. Okay.
6.5.
Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting for me because I'm going to be straight up honest with you. Like, this is 100% a nostalgia movie for me. It like I can't watch it and not go back to that time in my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's definitely, no matter how I try to spin it, you know, and to be honest with you, I like that. I like that it's got that emotional connection with me, because I think otherwise, if I just would have seen this movie when I was 40 for the first time, I probably, you know, I would have been like, yeah, you know, it was okay. You know, I never read the comic, and I don't really know much about the characters.
Yeah.
So I think in a lot of cases, like, you know, a film being nostalgic can like be a negative, but I think in this case it's very positive. I mean, this film has like, you know, it has history with me. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm kind of with Justin now. I think I'm kind of in that 6.5 range. I think I'm right there, and I don't know that I'm going to ever do what you do with this movie and watch it 2-3 times a year. I don't think I have that kind of passion for it, but I can appreciate it. So it's definitely, I'm definitely going to rank it above average.
I would also put it in that category of, if I was just flipping through the channels and it was on, I would sit and watch it.
Oh, no
you know
doubt.
What I mean, like I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's not like or like I'd have it on.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Mike?
Well, I fucking love this movie. No, seriously, I don't know why I gravitate toward this movie so much. Like, why? Like, I don't know. I've owned this movie. I had it on VHS. I had it on DVD. Now I have the Blu-ray. Like, I've upgraded through the years with this movie, and again, I've watched this movie a lot.
Yeah,
I've seen it a lot of times, and I don't know what it is that resonates so much with me with this movie. I just find it fun. I love the tone of it. I think Lori Petty is perfect.
Yeah.
You can tell, and you know, you always see people say this, but this movie, man, they had fun making this. You know they had fun. You know it.
I like ones where they have fun doing it and it kind of shines through.
Especially Lori Petty.
Yeah.
Obviously. She did say that she ran into Ice-T on the street, you know, years later, and he's like, "Hey, Lori," and she was like, kind of looking at him, and she came to realization it was Ice-T, because when they were working on the film, he was never out of makeup. She remembers him as the Ripper. She never saw him without it.
Yeah.
So it like took her back, you know, took her a few seconds to be like, oh shit, we worked together.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Why does Ice-T know me?
Yeah. But man, I don't know. I just love this movie, and I'm sure I would have seen it at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe. Even if you hadn't introduced me to it when you did. But would I feel the same way if I hadn't seen it when I saw it? Probably not.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So, it is a nostalgia factor, but I legitimately, like I said, I watch this a few times a year. Every, you know, 6 months or so, or a year maybe. It depends.
Yeah.
I'll pull this movie out and be like, I haven't watched Tank Girl in a while. Let me watch it again. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give it, because it's not my favorite movie,
5.2.
5.2.
Yeah.
You're highballing a little. No, I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Cool.
I was originally going to go higher, but I was like, that's a little ridiculous. I don't love this movie that much, but I really, I can't stress enough.
All right, well, it is locked in our MacGuffin database, so there's no going back now. It is forever an 8.
It can never be edited.
It can never, ever be changed. All right, so...
What's that give for the average score, then?
Yeah. I guess... So the average between the three of us, then, is a 7 on the nose.
Hey, that's a fair number for this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for the audience, if you have not seen this movie, if you go in looking just for like a fun little movie that, you know, I don't want to say kill 2 hours or whatever, because that makes it sound like I have nothing better to do. But if you're looking for something maybe you haven't seen, check it out. I mean,
it ranks. Not that. Look, there's some of these episodes that will never ever
air.
Yeah, they will never air. But if you, the ones that we've recorded and rated, This one falls in 7th place.
7th?
7th place
Okay.
overall. Out of like, I don't know.
It's close to 20 that we've done.
I like how she can't shoot a single person with all those machine guns, and then she has this like, it looks like a Fisher Price bow, and like nails this dude.
Yeah, there's 14 that we have rated. So it's like
really?
right in the middle.
Oh, this was something interesting too. I like that the tank and even the jet are almost like their own characters too. Like
Yes.
they have personality
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like at the end of the movie, Pat was watching the end of it again, or not again, but finishing up the movie when I got here, and when she's fighting Malcolm McDowell at the end, and she's like, basically against the ropes, and then the tank comes in, and blasts, and she's like, "What took you so long?"
Yeah,
like the tank was on it, driving itself and everything. Again, no logical sense.
yeah.
It's never established that this tank can control itself and do things, but all of a sudden it does. Who cares? Who cares?
I watched this guy's video on YouTube, and he said he was talking about soft world building and hard world building or something like that.
Okay.
He's basically talking like Miyazaki films are more soft world building.
I don't know who that is.
What?
Okay. I'm dead, I guess.
Princess Mononoke?
Oh, that guy? Okay, I've
Nausicaa?
never seen any of those.
Oh, man. I thought you were... I had to look at you to see if you're joking around.
No. Now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but he was talking about how the world, like things don't have to make sense.
It makes sense within that world.
Yeah, that's not the point, was making the things make sense. It's
Right.
about like other things, and I'm going to explain this very well. What other things are like more hard world building, where this happens because this and this and this.
Right. Where it's all logical and planned
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Which is fine. I mean, both are fine, but this seems more like a soft, where it's not about like everything like...
You have to suspend reality.
Yeah, you're thrown into this
to
world
live
that
in this
has its
world.
own logic, its own workings.
Set of rules.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So where would Jurassic Park fall in that scale?
I think that would still fall under the more hard, because everything has, the reason for everything. Everything's broken down. Where like in the thing he was talking about in Spirited Away, he was just talking about there's like these train tracks underwater, and that's where you pick up the train and stuff. There's no reason why they're underwater, or like it's like a couple feet of water, or like it's never explained. It's like,
or like you have a movie like Johnny Mnemonic, where all of a sudden there's a smart dolphin, and in Ice-T's. Speaking of Ice-T, he's in that movie too. In Ice-T's like lair. I don't know if you've seen that movie. Have you seen?
I honestly,
I saw it in the theater, and that was the only time I saw it.
I
can't even remember it.
Dolph Lundgren is like the crazy...
he's like a priest or something.
Priest assassin guy.
Yeah.
He's got like the Moses type... Not Moses, but like the big staff with the curved... You know, and the robes.
that was Moses, wasn't it?
It might have been Moses. I guess so.
Ramoses.
Moses.
It's my favorite biblical punk band, the Ramoses.
All right.
Oh, Jesus.
So we've got our rating.
Oh yes. Okay. So there's two things I want to touch on now. Now, one of the questions
Would
is,
one of them be Justin and the other one be me?
no. So you had a question.
I had that wrong.
You had a question about other post-apocalyptic films, correct?
Yes.
So would you like to present that?
No. I've decided not to.
Decided not to.
No. No, I asked you guys ahead of time to what are some of your favorite post-apocalyptic films. Of course, you can. I also expanded that if you want to talk about maybe like a comic or something, like a comic storyline that gets post-apocalyptic. If things like that. I know you guys don't read a lot of books, or if you did, you've all read Swan Song by Robert McCammon, so you would all say that one.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a while. I think I've read some books.
Okay. Post-apocalyptic?
Yeah, actually, I've read The Stand, and I read Swan Thong.
Swan Thong.
Swan Songs, a song. Oh, man.
I think, Justin, you're probably more passionate about this genre than I am. I mean, I've always, obviously growing up, I was always into the Mad Max stuff, but I wouldn't say I've ever,
you can't
been
use Mad Max.
So fired up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, I love that
I
kind of
enjoy
stuff.
the genre, but
Yeah.
You know.
I was watching a new video with Good Bad Flicks. He just covered an 80s post-apocalyptic movie. I can't remember what it was.
The Book of Eli was cool from a couple years ago, too.
I haven't not seen
Tom
that.
Waits was in that.
I actually like that movie.
Cameo in that.
My whole thing with that, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, he's protecting a book the whole movie, and it turns out the book is the Bible.
Oh.
I thought it would have been more interesting if it was just like some random...
Oh, wait a minute. Justin, I know you're like Jones into... no pun intended. I know you're Justin Jones and to get going here. There is one more post-apocalyptic movie that is a favorite of mine that I might have to rank ahead of Mad Max, and I'm sure I'm going to get some blowback.
Mad Max or Road Warrior?
Both.
Okay.
And Beyond Thunderdome, if we're being honest.
Fury Road.
Well, yeah, that one was good too. But
I like that more than I like Beyond
listen,
Thunderdome.
you want to know which movie I think I enjoy? And look, I know I'm going to get laughed at. I know I am. But I think...
No one's going to laugh at you.
I think I enjoy...
I'm going to laugh at you.
I enjoy Waterworld.
I love Waterworld. I don't care. I love Waterworld. It's a good movie.
I haven't seen it in years. I remember it being fun. It was fun to watch.
It is... There is things wrong with that movie. There are things wrong with that movie. I was going to say there's nothing wrong with that movie, but that's not a true statement. However, that movie is very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, Pat, I'm not laughing at you at all.
All right. Well, Justin, I know you probably have far more like good content to bring to the table.
I have content. So some of the ones I've already, obviously Mad Max.
Yep. The whole series.
The whole series.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm in the same boat. To me, Road Warrior is like the gold standard.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's maybe my favorite. I like the Fury Road a lot.
I do like Fury Road a lot.
I
yes.
haven't seen Beyond Thunderdome since I was a kid.
To me that's the weakest one.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like the first one. They say it's like too slow. And
Yes,
I was like,
and
it's kind of slow.
but I like it.
I do too. I put A Boy and His Dog. That was a fun one.
I have never seen that whole movie.
Oh, really?
I saw the beginning of it, never saw the whole film.
I really like that one a lot. 12 Monkeys.
How the freak did I not think of 12
really
Monkeys?
Good one.
That's a phenomenal one.
I actually didn't think about it either because I consider that more of a time travel movie.
Yeah.
If I had to categorize it.
Yeah, but it still has the elements.
Yeah, it's in there.
Dude, I love
counts.
that movie.
I do too.
I almost want to go watch that again now.
Yeah.
I would easily count that.
Yeah. I put The Quiet Earth. I just saw that.
I need to see that again.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I watched it by myself a couple months ago.
I have not seen that since I was like a teen, and I remember liking it then. I need to see that again.
Yeah, it was good. I kind of went through some lists to kind of remind me of some, and I put Hands of Steel on there, but I couldn't remember if I was set in the near future. I don't know if I was post-apocalyptic, but
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it was good. It was fun. Cherry 2000.
I've never seen that.
That's a fun one. Wheels of Fire, and here's where I get some of these mixed up. I think Wheels of Fire is the one where the guy's sister gets kidnapped and it's a post-apocalyptic thing and he has to go after her and save her. And
I don't know.
It's very Mad Maxy, like with the cars all souped up in like a desert land. He's going around trying to find his sister.
Let's just get that right out there. There are a billion Mad Max ripoffs.
Yeah, of Maxploitation.
Of varying quality. Some are pretty okay, and a lot of them are unwatchable.
I haven't found an unwatchable one yet.
I mean,
I will watch every single one.
Well, so will I, but I'm saying to like the normal person.
Yeah.
Okay, what else you got?
So, and Wheels of Fire is one. I think it's the one with George Eastman. And
former porn star from Cannibal Holocaust?
No.
What's that guy's name?
Yeah, he was in Debbie Does Dallas. I don't remember his name.
Isn't his name something Eastman?
Oh man, I don't know. Someone else look at it.
No.
Hell Comes to Frogtown. I put that on there.
Yes, I love that movie. I think we're in the very, very small minority on that one.
Oh, that's a great movie, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Joe Bob just played that recently. It was great.
Yes,
he
did.
About that. The New Barbarians.
I've seen that, yes.
That was fun, I thought.
It's fun. It's not good. It's fun.
1990, The Bronx Warriors, I thought was good.
Yes, that's a decent one.
Yeah, here's one I put on here because my mom actually recommended this one to me, and I really wanted to like it because she liked it a lot. Snowpiercer. I didn't like that one.
Oh, I love that movie.
Oh, is that the
with
who's
Chris,
the brother?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans and
yeah, who directed that?
The guy that directed Parasite.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really wanted to like it, but I just...
Oh, man, I like that movie.
I'll have to watch it again. I couldn't get in it.
They made a TV show out of it, apparently.
Yeah.
Which I have not seen.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's based on a comic. Yes, it is based on a graphic novel or comic or whatever. Yeah.
I put The Matrix on here, but...
It's post-apocalyptic.
So a lot of my problems as I was digging into like what people consider post-apocalyptic. Yes, it's post-apocalyptic, but I feel like it's more of a...
It's more like cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk or something. It's like, yeah, something
It
like
is.
that. But when I was looking at people's list for post-apocalyptic movies, some of them I couldn't... So I was like, where do you draw the line? Because like I saw one was like Night of the Comet, which I love.
Oh, I love that movie.
Which is post-apocalyptic. That one is.
It is.
But there was some like looking for a friend for the end of the world or something. Did you ever see that one?
Oh, yes. The Steve Carell movie.
Yeah, but I would say that's more pre-apocalyptic.
It's leading up to it.
There was a bunch of them that Sarah said were apocalyptic adjacent.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was either like
Yeah.
like
Well, I
it's
guess-
where the focus of the movie is. Like some stuff takes place in because even like Turbo Kid, did we talk about that
Oh,
recently?
I love that movie.
Yeah.
That's post-apocalyptic.
That's post-apocalyptic, yeah. I put Escape from New York, which I don't even consider like I don't think about it, but yeah, it's in a
Yeah.
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 Just
It has elements of that.
yeah, but I never thought about it. But as I started looking them up, I think of like when I think of post-apocalyptic, I think of Mad Max. I think of like
Sure.
Cherry 2000, Hell Comes to Frogtown stuff.
Well, I think-
California Love.
California Love.
Yeah. It's true.
Right?
Yeah. It's a post-apocalyptic music video.
California.
Benji.
That music video must have been expensive.
Yeah. No doubt.
Holy crap.
What music? What have you
The
talking about?
California Love.
What is that?
Tupac and Dr. Dre.
Oh, I don't know that.
California Love.
Despite my proclamation,
Well,
I
listen-
love Tupac one time.
It is
But,
it was extremely inspired by the Mad Max franchise.
Yeah, they're actually like fighting in a Thunderdome
think I
or
do
like
remember-
rapping in a Thunderdome. Yeah.
okay.
And they're riding around in like makeshift vehicles in the
Wait.
desert and stuff.
I do remember that.
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
huge-
I do.
it was a
how
huge
did I
music
forget
video.
about that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's quite a list, Justin.
Yeah.
I had to cut it short, and I was just going off on I don't know. I couldn't get my head around.
What you
to that,
got,
but I
Pat?
do.
No, I pretty much had. That's what I had. Waterworld.
What about the Postman? You can do
The
like
Postman is a
The
good one.
Postman starts off so good.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of that movie when he gets captured and he's like and like helping them. I forget what they're doing. That guy's got a bunch of people captured. and
Packages.
They're like working. Then once it gets to like the postman stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, it works at first where he like lies to get into the community, but then it gets ridiculous when all these other like people are like, "I'm gonna be a postman too," and it's like it's a little cringy.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I still like that movie. That to me is more laughable than Waterworld.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Dude, I love Waterworld. I
do too.
Again, maybe I should watch it again. Maybe it'd be a similar thing to Tank
No,
Girl,
it's
where I
fun.
watch it years later and it's like,
No, it's fun.
yeah.
I think time has been kind to that movie, honestly. So I have a couple that some of mine, well, Mad Max and things like that. A couple other ones real quick. I like DEFCON 4. Have you ever seen that one?
I remember the box cover, but I don't know if I
Yeah.
actually watched it. The box cover was awesome.
Yes, it is. It starts off, there's these, I think it's 3 astronauts. They're in a spaceship. They basically watch nuclear war from space, and then they come down to Earth, because they're going to die if they don't, eventually. And it's just a post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear world. And it's not exactly a great movie, but the beginning of it, like that whole segment, is great. Because you're thinking to yourself, man, can you imagine being those astronauts? Like,
That'd be crazy. Just
actually,
watching everything.
like
just
you're just watching the world exploding, and you're just there. What do you do?
everything you ever known,
And you have
everything.
nowhere else to go.
I haven't seen it. I'm looking at the pictures and stuff
Oh
now.
man, you should check that one out.
Yeah, I want to because I remember as a kid that box cover was.
I had a double feature DVD before Hell Comes to Frogtown came out on Blu-ray. It was a double feature Hell Comes to Frogtown and DEFCON 4.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. I remember seeing that as a kid, though. I saw that as, my video store had that, so I rented that. And I enjoy that movie. It's a good one.
One of the pictures that came up is that split of DEFCON 4 and Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Okay, yeah, that's the DVD. What else was I gonna... you ever see, That movie Rats, Night of Terror, by was it? I can think of his fake American name, Vincent Dawn. He also did Hell of the Living Dead.
No, I haven't seen. No, I'm looking at this. I haven't seen this either.
Oh man,
I need to see this.
it's not good, but it's not good in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Hell of the Living Dead? That's his Dawn of the Dead ripoff. What's the director's name? Do you have it there?
Michael Antonio.
No. His fake
Uncle Monkey.
his fake American name is Vincent Dawn, but he's Italian.
What, real quick, not to interrupt, but would the Planet of the Apes movies be considered post-apocalyptic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would consider them. Any of them. And those are good ones.
Wait, what was the last movie you just said?
Hell of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Bruno Mattei?
Oh, Bruno Mattei did that?
Is it him? Just look it up.
Because I think he did...
My brain is saying it is, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, because I think he also did... Didn't he do Hands of Steel?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh, The Matrix. Would that count?
Yeah, Justin mentioned that.
Yeah,
did you?
it's Bruno Mattei, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I must have dozed off.
Rats, Night of Terror.
I didn't see that one. I'll have to see that because I like his movies that I've seen so
he's
far.
bad, but good. Hell of the Living Dead is ridiculous.
Wait. I think I did see that one. Dude, I don't know. They have so many names for some of these.
Rats, Night of Terror. The last scene is unforgettable.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Post-apocalyptic though.
So, do you guys have...
I did see Hell of the Living Dead.
Okay.
I did see that.
Do you guys have a favorite? If we each were to pick a favorite, I mean, shit, now that you mention it, 12 Monkeys might be up there.
I think Road Warrior is like the gold standard.
that is, yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. That would be up there. That'd be easily in my top 5,
Yeah.
maybe even 3.
It's got to be up there.
Yeah.
I really like that. Well, I would say The Stand, but the TV version, that's a nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
Because I had already read the book, and I was like, oh my god, now they're making it a mini series or whatever.
Yeah.
So I love it for that. But man, it's pretty cheesy. But they're redoing it though.
Yeah.
So
Justin, do you have a favorite? Because I want to move on to another topic.
Nah, I don't worry. Because part of the problem is I like them for different reasons. Like I like the 12 Monkeys one for like the time thing and the atmosphere. Some of them I just like I said, like
plus Brad Pitt was a fucking bomb in it.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, he was great.
He is really good in that.
Like Wheels of Fire and all like the lower budget ones.
The cheese ball
factor. I really like those ones.
They're just entertaining.
Yeah, and it's hard to say. I don't have a favorite.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite. And like you, Justin, I'm very into that genre. I love. I'm the same way with like post-apocalyptic books as well, and post-apocalyptic music.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's got to be a genre.
I guarantee that exists somewhere.
Did you just fall out of your chair?
No, my pen fell,
Oh.
and then I ducked down to retrieve it.
Sound like you're falling into a hole.
So here's the other.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Hands of Steel. I got to correct myself. For Sergio Martino.
Sergio Martino. Okay,
Yeah.
He's good too. I like him.
All right, so one of the things I wanted to ask you guys was, so this movie came out in '95, correct?
Yes.
All right, so again, without revealing our age too much, let's just
We've already done that.
To say it, yeah, I know, we kind of didn't we?
Yeah.
We were all born pre-1990, let's say that.
Yeah.
So when we were growing up, comic book movies, kids today that are born today, they have no idea the struggle that we went through as comic book fans.
They were few and far between.
Yeah, so now you look at it, it's like, Christ, between what the Avengers and Marvel is doing.
Are there any movies besides comic book
exactly?
films now?
It's pretty much, I never imagined that it would ever turn into this.
It exploded.
Yeah. And the fact that Captain America and Iron Man are like multi-million-dollar movies is mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that led me to the topic that I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on.
I don't have any thoughts.
Is what... We'll go through the two genres, 80s and 90s.
Okay.
What was your favorite 80s comic book movie? And what was your favorite 90s comic book movie? Now, I'm going to rattle off some options.
Oh, okay.
And you guys let me know.
I think I know my 90s.
Let me know what you think. So, yeah, stash that in the back of your head there and see when it pops up. So, here's what I believe. I believe that the X-Men movies in 2000, that was kind of like the beginning of the transition that became what it is today in comic book film. It was not like that when we were born. I think all of us, there were the trials and tribulations of being a comic book fan and wanting to see comic book films when we were young. It just was not a thing. Yeah. And the options that we had to work with were very very limited and in many cases very goofy. So here's what I want to do. And I guess I should say as well, before X-Men in 2000, in, what was it, 98? I think it
was like 98.
Blade was kind of like the preface to the, it was like it kicked off, it gave the X-Men the confidence that the studio could pull this thing off. But anyway, I digress. What I would like to do is go through the two phases, the 80s and the 90s, pre-X-Men. And I want to rattle some names off, and I want your guys' thoughts on your feelings, and then we can rank some of our favorites from those two eras. You good with that?
Let's get it popping.
All right. Now, some of these on this list, I might need some clarification on whether or not they're actually comic books, or if the I'm guessing they were comic books, but I don't know. I'm confused.
My 90s pick is Steel, by the way. Starring Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
It's not.
Mine's Barbed Wire.
Well, I think that's on the list.
I actually like Barbed Wire.
All right, so let's start with 80s before we get to 90s. So 80s. So it's starting at 24 and working down. This is what's on here. The Toxic Avenger Part 2, which, is that a comic book before it was a movie?
No.
I don't know why that would be on here. Then. And then, so I'll skip it anytime because all the Toxic Avengers are on here. Okay. We got...
it's very influenced by that.
Condor Man.
I don't know what the hell that is.
1981 American adventure comedy superhero film from Walt Disney.
Oh, boy.
That sounds very good.
So I missed that one.
The Return of Swamp Thing it ranks in at number 17 here. We got Heavy Metal. Yeah. I guess, would that count as a comic book movie?
Yeah.
I think so.
It's based on the Heavy Metal comic, the Heavy Metal magazine.
Yeah.
Which had
comics.
Yeah. I'd count
here
that.
At number 14. Oh, go on.
Did they put Return of Swamp Thing, but not Swamp? Or
I'm ranking down.
This is a ranked list.
Yeah, so now I'm on number 14.
That was,
so that was, what,
what's
17?
his name? I almost said Jim Jarmusch. The guy that did Chopping Mall did...
Jim
Wynorski.
Jim Wynorski, yeah.
Did Return to Swamp Thing, yeah.
Yeah. So, that was number 17. Number 14, The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, which I don't know if this was a full-length, like, straight-to-TV thing.
That might have been like a TV movie from the show.
Yeah, Bill Bixby, obviously, 1989.
Yeah. Is that the one that had Thor and Daredevil in it?
Oh, my God, it must have been
probably
terrible. I've seen what Thor looks like. It's bad.
Daredevil, God, how did he look?
I don't know. That I don't remember. But I remember what Thor looked like, and it's bad.
Yeah. Swamp Thing is in at number 13 here.
Okay.
The Punisher. Okay, so
that's like 89?
Yeah, that's 1989.
Was that the Dolph Lundgren one?
Dolph Lundgren, yeah. So, I loved that movie.
I remember that.
And now, here's the thing. I was a huge Punisher comic book fan.
Yes.
So, when that movie came out, I was, like, over the moon about it.
Yeah, that's all you had.
Now, of course. Now, looking back, I'm like, God damn, this is... Even at the time, I knew it was bad. They couldn't even put the skull on a shirt or anything. Like, give me something, man. Like... it was just a horrible swing and a miss.
But, God, why?
But at the time, I was like...
That's Dolph Lundgren.
To be able to say that's Frank Castle on the screen... I was all about that. So
I know that whole little segment. He's the whole where like, why are the innocent punished? It's at the beginning of a Biohazard song.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Did they put it in there?
Yeah, it's one of their old songs, like from their first or second, third album.
That's awesome.
So that's like when the camera's going through the sewers, isn't it?
The song's called Punishment.
Is it?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, yeah, it's like going through and he's sitting there naked, you see like his ass cracked.
Yeah, they open a song with that little sound clip of that. Yep.
Don't make them like they used to.
No, they don't. I did love that movie. I still have it on VHS.
It's not good
somewhere,
but
can I borrow it?
It's okay.
And a VCR?
Yeah.
Can I borrow it and a VCR?
My friend was going to give me one, and Sarah was kind of like, she'll say that she didn't say no, but she said no. She was like,
Actually is on Blu-ray. I have it.
A Punisher?
Yup.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, it is.
Can you borrow it?
It was
And a Blu-ray player?
A Blu-ray.
I believe it's an Australian Blu-ray company called, I think it's Umbrella,
Okay.
but it's region free. So yeah, I have it.
So, yeah, I would like to see that in Blu-ray.
Okay. It doesn't look fantastic, but I'm sure it looks better than
I
VHS.
haven't watched it in years.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a VHS player.
Well, I have it. I mean, not a VHS player. I have it.
VCR. I have a VCR. All right, so that was number 12.
I have the VCR.
Number 11. I did have 2 VCRs, by the way, but I used them for importing old tapes, not for watching movies. And then one of them started to eat the tape.
Really fancy.
Yeah. The Incredible Hulk Returns. Again,
Is that another TV movie?
No, it must have been 1988.
Yeah.
We have Supergirl.
Oh my
Faye Dunaway,
God.
Peter O'Toole, 1984.
I forgot that movie existed.
Yeah, every time I see... For some reason, it's weird. Every time I see a still for that with the Popeyes in the background, I want red beans and rice like really bad. Like, do you ever see that picture? It's probably on the picture there. Is that Popeyes
She's
in the background?
Flying by the
I just remember
Statue of
when that
Liberty.
was like, when I was a kid, that was coming on TV.
Yeah.
And again, like I didn't have cable.
I don't know that I've ever seen it all the way through.
I did, but I don't remember.
But yeah, that's another one. 1984. I was 4 when that came out.
I was 5. We just said our ages, Pat.
Oh my god. I'll have to edit that.
Justin was 6.
That...
That's
16,
amazing.
no,
16.
Here it is. That's what I always think of. That one with the Popeyes in
let
the
me
back.
see.
No shit.
Anyway, number 9, Howard the Duck.
Oh,
That's
man.
clearly a comic book. Number 8, Superman, Part 4, The Quest for Peace.
Nope.
Number 7, Tron. Is that a comic book?
No.
I don't know.
Not that I know of.
Number 6, Masters of the Universe.
That was a cartoon.
I guess it would be considered
was
a
a
comic
comic,
book because they
too.
put it with the toys.
They did. There were little like mini comics with the toys, and that was first, was it?
Okay.
Toys
I
were...
think they were first.
Well, the toys were before the show, so yeah, I guess the
That's what I'm
comic
saying.
books
the
would
comic,
be before.
Yeah, so I guess it kind of counts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another one. Dolph Lundgren classic.
Jeez, man.
Superman 3 is number 5 with Richard Pryor and Christopher Reeves.
Well, it won't be Superman 1 because that's the 70s.
Number 4, Flash Gordon.
Ooh.
I need to watch that again. I remember.
Was that a comic? It was a comic strip, right?
I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, comic
I
strip.
think it was a comic strip.
Yep, based on a comic strip.
Damn.
RoboCop, number 3.
That wasn't a comic book.
Oh, it says it was.
Not originally.
Superman 2 is in at number 2. Gene Hackman, Christopher Reeve.
Hackman?
And number 1, who can guess, in the 80s, the best comic book movie to come out in the 80s? There's really only one choice. Late 80s.
I don't remember what it was.
Justin, would you like to guess?
DC?
Yes.
Batman?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, I
Batman.
forgot. 89, yeah.
That has to be the best comic book movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, Flash Gordon until you said Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I love Flash Gordon. In fact, the 4K of that has already shipped and it is arriving at my house tomorrow.
All right,
No
now
doubt.
on to the 90s.
I think I know my number 1 for this one.
90s. Let's
Possibly.
start at the lowest number.
We'll see what happens when we get to the other side.
All right, so bottom of the list here, 25, Batman Forever, 1995.
Nope.
Number 24, Captain America, 1990. This is the one where he had rubber ears.
Yeah.
I want to watch that one again. I feel like I haven't seen that.
It's not horrible. It's not good.
I need to compare it to the current Captain America movies.
Yeah, he's no Chris Evans. So
I do like that they were ballsy enough to put the little feather wings on the side of his actual.
yeah.
Anyway, number 23, Vampirella, 1996.
Never saw that.
Which is another Jim Wynorski.
Why is he all over the place tonight?
I don't know. I guess he's... I don't know. It's kind of his niche. I don't know. Chopping Mall. What else did he do?
Return to Swamp Thing, Chopping Mall.
I've never seen that movie, though.
I believe he did Deathstalker 2,
Oh, yeah, he did do Deathstalker too.
which is way better than the first one. It's more fun.
Yeah, they play. Yeah, it's a little more has more comedy. It has the dude from Chopping Mall's in it.
Is he?
Yeah, the guy that was Leslie.
Oh,
Like,
that guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of his name off the top of
Jim
my head.
Wynorski, man, he's something.
Number 21, Barbed Wire, 1996, starring Pamela Anderson.
That movie is not good, but it's better than it should be.
Or Mrs. Tommy Lee.
I think it's high up on the list because it inspired
time.
a whole generation of people to get barbed wire tattoos on.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Jesus.
Jeez. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There was a
happen.
lot of that around that. I don't think that might not have been the reason why. But
Oh, it
I
probably-
think it
it probably
inspired
was.
some folk. Yeah, because it was Pam Anderson. So, I'm sure people...
Nobody even heard of Barbed Wire probably until that movie. I didn't.
Number 20.
I was a comic book guy, so
Yeah. Number 20, Steel,
that's my number one.
Shaquille O'Neal,
Not really.
1997. Number 19.
How the hell did that movie get made?
I don't know.
Christ.
Number 19, Spawn, which this one, again, looking back now in hindsight, it's a little goofball, but
The CG is terrible,
yeah.
but
I love that they took risks.
I have a soft spot for that movie. It's very, very, very flawed, and the HBO animated series was a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, but they went for it, and you can't knock
is that
that.
Michael Jai White in that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or is that how you say his name?
Michael Jai White,
okay.
something like that. Yeah,
I like him.
Black Dynamite.
But yeah, and you know what was really ballsy about this, especially in '97? It's not like they attempted to come out with that the 2000s, or even the 2010s or 2020s. But that movie was it was not by any means a straightforward story. You got hell and demons and clowns and weird costumes with large capes. There's a lot to digest. But yeah, more props to him for going for it. So we got number 17, The Crow, City of Angels, 1996. I can't believe they even made a sequel.
They made several sequels.
There's 4 of them total,
Oh my God.
and they get progressively. The fourth one, look, this tells you all you need to know. The 4th one, The Crow Salvation, stars Edward Furlong as the Crow.
Lost my
And he's not the worst part of the movie.
So hold on. What are the 4 then?
It's the second one's City of Angels. Third one is maybe the third one's Salvation.
Anyway, we can fact check that.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's diminishing returns on those films for sure.
All right, number 15, The Mask, 1994. That was another good one as a young kid.
Yeah, I was a fan of that. That was the triple header of Jim Carrey.
Yeah, you're right.
Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask were all the same year, 94, right?
They were all the same year?
I think they were all 94.
Jesus God. Yeah. Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, I gotta look that up.
He had the
You
triple
looking that up,
whammy.
Justin?
That's what made him.
Yeah, I knew that it was all in a relatively
they're all
short
94.
period of time. I didn't realize it was all the same year.
Yep.
That's astounding.
Pretty positive on that.
But yeah, that was another one. I was not a fan of the Mask comic. I wasn't familiar with it.
Yeah, I had no clue.
But I was a huge Jim Carrey fan at the time. So I was a huge fan of that movie. And then I've since bought Mask comics, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a few graphic novels. Nothing.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. Anyway, 14, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1990, as well as the sequels. Part 2, Secret of the Ooze in 91. I didn't realize it was 90 and then right into 91.
They made those back to back, basically.
Really?
I mean, not back to back, but they quickly started on the second one.
That's surprising to me because it has a different feel to it.
Oh, totally, yeah.
I mean, I like the second one for what it is, but it has a different feel.
Well, they
from
had
the
to
first
go
one.
because parents complained about the first one
Being too dark and gritty.
dark and violent, so they had to make it more fun and kid friendly for the second one. They don't use their weapons in the second movie.
They don't use their weapons.
They have them out, but they don't use them to attack. Like Leonardo throws his swords into the ceiling and then jumps up and kicks somebody or something.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I never knew.
Michelangelo uses sausages. Yeah,
It's lame.
yeah.
I think it's funny coming from such a dark comic.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
The
How
comic
cartoon
was
got-
not for kids.
Yeah.
It's much more the tone of the first one, but the first one had a nice balance.
Yeah.
It didn't destroy me as a kid.
No, there's many other things.
I
that
waited
destroyed you.
inside you like a time bomb to
I didn't go
destroy you
around-
as a man.
I didn't go around stabbing people with my size.
Yeah. You don't have much size.
Size
What he
for you.
lacks in size, though, he makes up in Ninja Turtle memorabilia.
No, not even.
And then part 3 came out in 93. Did that one have a subtitle? Or a...
Turtles in Time? No, that's the game, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a game.
Oh, I love that game.
That was a fun game.
That was an awesome arcade game.
Yeah.
I was a Ninja Turtle maniac when I was a kid. That was one of my favorite.
I was big
things.
on that, yeah.
That game was awesome, though. You get 3 other friends
Oh, yeah.
going, each pick your Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
I was always Donatello.
Yeah,
Oh, Donatello was great.
I was always Michelangelo, of
Yeah.
course, because my name's...
Oh, yeah.
Who are you? I see you as a...
His name's Justin.
I see you as either a Leonardo... Are you a Leonardo guy?
No, I always liked Donatello.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got to fight.
I know.
Cage match.
No. Well, both of our favorite colors are purple.
Well, you know what's funny though? Sarah always
Is
said
that true or is that a lie?
I'm not going to tell.
Sarah always liked Raphael, and I always liked Donatello. And then growing up, I was like, I just like Donatello because he was like really smart. He was like the smart one. But she's like the smart one out of our relationship, and she's like, yeah, I always like Raphael because he was a smart ass. And then she put
That's funny.
yeah,
That's
like,
funny.
Well, maybe that's why your marriage is perfect.
Yeah.
then, because, you gravitate towards...
But nobody likes Leonardo.
No, I think people
No,
like...
you don't like him.
No, okay.
He's like the Cyclops.
Yeah, he is.
I like him, but he's like
He's the leader, and
Yeah.
he's kind of...
he's no fun.
Loosen up, dude.
fun. Yeah. 13, Judge Dredd.
Nice.
Which in another movie, I thought they did a really good job in that movie for one reason. What are those hill people called? That the ones I'm talking about, where the guy had the claw thing.
Yeah, it's Herschel from The Walking Dead.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I gotta look that up.
I forget his name.
He plays that character?
He plays the father, like the older,
Yeah.
the father of the and his sons. Yeah, that's him.
That's Herschel. Get out of here. But anyway, I liked, because that was the character from a comic, obviously. Now, I was a huge Judge Dredd comic fan, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that was a character.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
And
The
I
interesting-
forget that character's name.
What, Judge Dredd?
No.
Rob Schneider.
Rush.
No. The hillbilly guy with the claw clamp thing on his hand.
I don't know what his name is. Let me kill him, Paul. I just know
Yeah.
he says that.
I've never actually seen the Judge Dredd movie, but I'm looking at the
Really?
cast. That's an awesome
You
cast.
haven't seen the Judge Dredd movie?
No.
We saw that in the theater, didn't we,
Yeah.
Pat?
Sylvester
Well, we saw.
I'm pretty
we saw
sure.
a little bit of it. We were a little busy.
Oh my God.
What?
That means
Sylvester Stallone.
people are
Armand
going to start thinking
We were writing notes for our future podcast.
Yeah.
What do you think I was talking about?
Jürgen Prochnow, Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was-
Armand Asante.
Jesus, yeah. Joan Chen.
Joan Chen. She's barely in it.
Balthasar Getty.
Yup.
One thing I always thought was cool about Judge Dredd
Mean Machine.
is that
That's it.
Like he ages in real time.
Ah.
Like the Judge Dredd now is like an old man, but he's like older than, because there's some science or something. I didn't read the new ones, but yeah, like it's like as time progresses, so
He's
to say.
progressing.
It's not like Spider-Man where he's still in college.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
60 years later, still doesn't have
Well,
his
he
bachelor's degree.
needs to graduate because
Yeah.
wow.
All right, Judge Dredd was 13. Number 12, Men in Black.
Yeah, that was a comic.
Yeah.
I always forget that.
Number 10, Tank Girl, as we discussed.
It's in the top 10, baby.
Number 8, Batman and Robin, which I have no idea how Batman and Robin is at 8 while Batman Forever is at 25.
I have no idea why Batman and Robin is on any good list of any movies ever.
I don't understand that.
Batman Forever, I can kind of see. Like, it has its moments. Batman and Robin is
Yeah,
an abomination.
the train was far off the tracks at that point.
Oosh.
Where are we at? Number 6, The Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how it didn't make the top 5 here.
Yeah.
Number 5, a far superior film to The Crow, The Rocketeer.
Fuck that movie. No, I actually like The Rocketeer, but you're putting that above The Crow.
I know.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Come on.
I liked it when I was a kid, and I haven't seen it since.
I saw that. I actually saw that in the theater as a kid. Whatever
you?
year that came out, yeah. And I'm a fan of it. I like that movie.
1991.
It's a fun movie. It's a Disney movie.
The Phantom is number 4, 1996. And
Yeah, okay, Billy
is-
Zane.
Yeah, Billy Zane.
Get the hell out of here.
Dick Tracy.
I've never actually seen that.
Dick Tracy, number 3, 1990.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Batman Returns, number 2, 1992. So look at this.
That's very
Look
good.
at this. Tim Burton coming in here. He takes the number 1 spot
In the
80s, and then the number 2 spot in the 90s, a second only to Blade. So that's sort of debatable. You could debate that. Although Blade was a game changer.
Blade was very good.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that.
And that, I think, was...
I'm a big fan of the first 2.
Yeah. I think the Blade movie was a blueprint to what ended up being. Years later, you have Marvel making a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I guarantee you, if you were to poll 100 people, do you know the Guardians of the Galaxy before those movies came out? They would have no freaking clue.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a comic book guy,
And
like
now,
I've said a billion times.
Here they are, multi-million-dollar franchise.
Yep. Everybody knows who they are.
Yep.
I feel like Blade was more known, but that could have just been like at the time where I was really reading comics because I like Ghost Rider.
As a casual person who knows like the main, the names that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Blade was not one of those.
But
names.
Justin, as far as the comic book fan, yes, Blade was more well known than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, then Guardians of the Galaxy, sure.
But I think Blade was a risk, obviously, at the time for the studios putting this thing out because it was a sub-level character. Yeah. When you have the rights to,
And they made it R-rated.
Yeah, R-rated. And it succeeded, though.
It probably had a lower budget. I'm sure it had a pretty small budget. But it was a success. Like, that movie made money.
Yeah. And it's still talked about.
Yeah.
People still reference that as one of the greats. But you have to give it props because I think it's what sparked the studios to say, all right, this can work. Yeah. We got a vampire killer and it works. Yeah. We can bust out the X-Men or we could do some fun stuff here and
it just snowballed. I said snowballed from there.
Well, on that note, thank you so much for joining us again here on the MacGuffin Guild. Be sure to check us out on our social media. We are on Twitter at MacGuffin Guild.
Yep.
We have a new Facebook page up and running here, so just give a search on Facebook, the MacGuffin Guild.
Yep, you can give the page a like.
Give the page a like, yeah, and please utilize this social media stuff. Call us out. Hit us up. Things you think we got wrong, correct us. We'll definitely give you your props. And
give us your opinion on the movies we discuss.
Please do.
What your thoughts are.
We'll mention you on future episodes for sure. So definitely reach out to us. I think we may or may not have a Discord.
And give us your address too,
like your home address.
Your home address.
Yeah.
Email address, home address.
No PO boxes.
Social security number,
phone numbers, time of day when you'll be home, time of day when you'll be sleeping,
debit card,
you have dogs,
debit
numbers.
And credit card.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let us know if you have a home security system. Do you like it? Is it working? Things like that.
What's the code?
We care. What's the code? We'll test it.
Please do. Let us know all of that on our social media.
Do you own guns?
But we're serious. We're not even kidding.
No judgment. Just want to know.
Baseball bat between the mattress?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, please do all that, and we'll.
Do you know karate?
We'll give you a shout out.
What belt are you?
Yeah.
I need to know what skill level I'm dealing with.
And if you were to fight someone, what would be the best weapon to bring you down? If you were to guess, like your greatest weakness.
Yeah.
Ballpark.
Yeah. Just give us an idea.
Bludgeoning. You can be like slicey something.
Yeah. We're just curious. We're very curious people. We like to know these kinds of things about people. It's natural.
Slicey. Slicey.
So you slice someone with a slicey weapon. I think it's technical term. That's what the cops say in the CSI shows.
We got
definitely a slicey.
We got another slicey on our hands.
Definitely
fellas.
A slicey homicide.
It looks here like they were bludgeoned, but when we did an autopsy down the bottom, we found some slicey marks.
There was a little bit of slicey going on.
I think I just squeaked or squealed. It was like I can't even do it.
All right, well, let's
own a shovel.
Squeal our way out of here.
Keep trying to close it out, man.
I am Pat. Justin, Mike, thank you, as always.
Welcome. Pleasure.
Yep, always a pleasure. We'll see you next time here on the MacGuffin Guild, so come on back.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm an Uncle Monkey.